Good afternoon, everyone. We are,
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
we are Team Titan Consultancy with a group presentation on Startup Amsterdam. Startup Amsterdam is a public and private combined initiative to make the city of Amsterdam the city of choice for startups and entrepreneurs to set up their ideas. This program was initiated in the year 2015. It provides right kind of environment and ecosystem for innovation to make the city of Amsterdam to make the with the goal of making Amsterdam the city of the startup capital of Europe. It has special emphasis on sustainability, which they believe will add value and empower businesses, entrepreneurs, and citizens of Amsterdam. Current service provision. Startup Amsterdam is an action-oriented program which they base on five points. That is, first is talent and diversity. The idea behind this is to train people practically and theoretically to work in high growth and high scale companies. They aim to include more women and people migrant from non-Dutch background to open their own companies and startups. They are mainly focusing on tech-related background to fulfill the demand of importing as much as foreign workforce. Another focus is on emerging technologies. Startup Amsterdam has taken consideration of artificial intelligence and robotic technology to make product better and more efficient. For they are also focusing on emerging technologies like privacy questions and cyber security. For this, they are starting ethic labs. Moving to the next point, they have access. The next focus of Startup Amsterdam is on accessing to market. They see accessing the world market as a hurdle in Amsterdam. For this, they are planning a remedy of connecting as many hubs as possible by giving Amsterdam community startups and entrepreneurs access to network provided by the local government. Next is another focus of Startup Amsterdam is stimulate network connection. They are recognizing the importance to the right kind of networking and stimulating cooperation and networking within their ecosystem. The next focus of Startup Amsterdam is on development of innovation districts. For this, they are collaborating with specialists for procuring space. They are forming clusters of business to collaborate and one spot destination for similar industry players. To be continued by my teammate. Thank you.
As my friend Satha discussed about the current service provision, and I'm going to explain about service provisions on website. The followed by the applications of city card, business, tourism, and living information. In city card, the application involves in discount in web applications like voucher code. In travel and site visiting allowances, transportation and canal cruising usages. Come about the business, as the provision involves in business in terms of providing guidance to a new business and initiate startup community and to find employees in various locations. Then come to tourism, it's provide practical information about the place and details for booking and passes. It also provide detailed information about virtual tour package guidance. Then come to the living information, it will give information about immigration procedures and searching for homes and jobs. And we can find schools and healthcare details and also about the history and culture. Then come to the next slide, short analysis of Startup Amsterdam. The major strengths are large talent pool, local and international, wide array of service and websites offering, focus on emerging technologies, access to international markets, stimulate industry and network and clusters to develop innovations and districts. First startup hub in Amsterdam, skilled workforce and locally sourced resources. And their main weaknesses are lack of physical infrastructure, market competitions, lack of technical talents, lack of female-led startups, need for further integrations of technologies. Then come about their opportunities, integrations of AI and blockchains, introduction of industry player crossover, connected to global systems, collaboration in founder network and membership programs, usage of scale networks, then startup incubators as well. Finally, the threats are increased competition, migration of local talents, cybersecurity, tourism due to lockdown. Yeah, then the next slide will be digital analysis of a startup Amsterdam. They have the political. They are the main analysis is political. EU allows greater industrialization. It has flux for foreign workers. Scale network favor high corporations. Then come to social. Rapid immigration results in greater skilled hiring pools. Liberal security and greater demands for women-led startup. Longer term approach to the business. Then come to technology. Telecommunication infrastructure, high usage of social media, globalization in business, integrations of AI blockchain. Then come to the legal analysis, elaborate regulatory framework, international trades and commerce, registrations for startup. Then come to the environmental analysis. Amsterdam prone to flooding, climate change pose threat in the industries, lack of renewable resources, renewable energy. Then come to the economy. Then finally come to the economy. High income consumers. Netherlands healthy and economic favor startup for the culture. Existing industry player. Then the next slide can be explained by my friend Deepak.
Thank you, Ramadurai. Hello, everyone. Now we're going to see the Porter's five forces. The first one is threat of new entrances. Technological advances provide greater economies of scale and reduce barriers to entry. The next one is power of customers. New startups and businesses, international players, fragmented buyers, tourists. And the next is existing competition. Dutch robotics hubs, international hubs, and Silicon Valley. The next one is power of suppliers. Forwarding integration in international markets, local business provide tourist services, switching cost and contracts. The next is threat of substances. Startup attracts include Holland startup attract community. Move to the next slide. The next one is industry analysis of startup Amsterdam. The first one is theme infrastructure. They are mainly focused on social media channels and portal websites. Next is HR management, reporting, hiring assistant program. Next one is technological development. They mainly focus on artificial intelligence and blockchain development, data analytics, and city card app. Next is procurement. The users contract to collaborate and partner with supply services. In the inbound logistics, they gain client through corporate partner program, launching authorities, Amsterdam launching pad week. And their operations are accelerators, incubators, and co-working spaces, Capital Week Amsterdam, and the connecting capital. And their output logistics are city branding, up to hub valorization of the facilities, concentration of startup activities. And their marketing and sales are Startup Amsterdam, international startup events, and Startup Amsterdam on online portal. And the services are startup ecosystem, tourist guide, city card, expertise, online startup job advertising, startup and coding academics, and residence program. The next slide. The next one is we're going to see the audit of successful startup and their competitive advantages. The first one is Republic of Korea Startup Hub. It's basically known as a tech incubator program for startups. You can see there are more than 1.7 million startups in 2020 in South Korea. The state-led incubation program. They matches startup with government funding. And the competitive advantages are they have no provision of startup equity to government. They have no condition attached to provisional fund. They fit for risk covers South Korea's population. And they allow entrepreneurial innovation. And the next startup is Kenya Startup Hub. This is one of the Africa's most successful and innovative startup hub. The larger cluster of technological skill talent and their competitive advantages are their reliable network, world-renowned online payment infrastructure, they standard on M-Pesa service, they enable mobile-based startup to thrive, the government supporting through Enterprise Kenya initiative, and we're going to see the next startup is Sao Paulo Brazil startup hub. They feature on a global top 30 startup ecosystem. They have a large local market, and they have mobile penetration and internet usage above global average. And but they are a ripe environment for innovation and startups. And the competitive advantages are they are financial technological industries. They are more favorable in financial technological regulation and legislation. High mobile usage and youth population is more advantages for them, and the startups at front lines of overhauling Brazil and tech hiring process. Thank you, everyone. And the next slide is described by my friend Sadia.
Good afternoon. As you can see on the screen, my topic is about strategic recommendations suggest for the company's growth objectives. Next slide, please. Keeping in mind SWOT, pestle, and portfolio analysis, these are the recommendations below suggested. There's a need to focus on mobilizing trained personnel, especially those with technical backgrounds, and also need to focus on female entrepreneurship as well, as there are approximately only 11.6% of overall startup Amsterdam has female founders. And next is investing in initiatives like House of Skills and House of Digitals can encourage fast-growing business by collaborating with organizations that improve the fast-growing business by collaborating with organizations that improve the link with current educational initiatives, and also arranging the webinars for foreign talents and easing up regulations for the companies by establishing support for the tech talent events. Next slide, please. And this slide is all about focusing on emerging technologies. Startup Amsterdam needs to focus on specialist, talented individuals in technical fields, needs to research opportunities, and also they need to create awareness about technological enhancements. Placing a neutral contact person for the companies and individuals for those who are coming for the questioning about the new technologies need to be focused. Applying artificial intelligence and blockchain technology by establishing municipal artificial intelligence powered lab in the companies can help the companies to expand their talent pools and operational capacities. Programs. Lastly, the programs need to stimulate new technologies and entrepreneurship by encouraging interconnections between the different industry sectors such as scientific and non-scientific, fast growers, cooperators, etc. And also, it needs to acquire technological events. The events, Amsterdam is known to be the hotspot for many new inventing of many new technological events like Amsterdam Blockchains Weekly, and it can instigate AI and data analysis education in institutes for emerging new technologies. And the rest will continue with my friend Anupriya. Thank you.
Hi everyone. Now I am going to explain how building access to markets can influence Startup Amsterdam. The first point is connect Amsterdam with global ecosystem. That is, it can allow scale-ups that accompanies municipalities' missions of innovation and trade. Founder networks and mentorship program can help Amsterdam to connect with global ecosystem. And the next point is allow entrepreneurs to join municipal networks. Bootcamp scale innovation programs can help companies to expand internationally and increase their revenue. Startup City Alliance Europe can help to facilitate, strengthen, and connect the European startup ecosystem for entrepreneurs. And the last point is increase founder knowledge of internationalization. That is, gaining support from Amsterdam Trade and Innovation can help in acquiring knowledge regarding internationalization. Increasing founder knowledge of internationalization can help in launching projects and partnership with scale cities. Then we can go to the next slide. That is stimulating network connections, developing strategic branding and connections. The major points coming under this topic are use social media channels and Startup Amsterdam portal, and it connect new startups to fast grower networks. Then scale up license as municipal point of contact. repositioning program internationally. And last but not the least, it is collaborate with events like Amsterdam Capital Week. We can move to the next slide. And the next one is developing innovation districts. The first point is cultivate innovation hotspots. That is, to identify and cultivate highly dense innovative districts of the world that collaborate to push the global technological frontier. And the second point is new contemporary working environments in mixed urban settings. That is, creating new contemporary working environments in diverse urban settings can help in developing innovation districts. The third point is connect institutions, startups, and multinationals to exchange information. That is, connecting these institutions, startups, and multinationals can help to exchange information regarding the innovation. Next point is stimulate collaboration and develop incubation sites. That is, it can help organization to stimulate collaboration and develop incubation sites with advanced technology. Then the next point is connect regional developments with special needs of scale-ups. That is, it can foster connection regarding regional development based on the special needs of scale-ups. Next point is joint adults with innovation districts for future development. That is, it can help in conducting audits with innovation district for future development. Next one is jointly drafted co-creation and economic programming. Jointly drafted co-creation and economic programming can help to forecast the future of competition and all other cultural, social, political, and intellectual activities that are products of the economic organization of society. And the last point is use anchor companies to accelerate regional development. That is, using high technology based anchor companies can help to accelerate regional development for innovation districts. Then we can just move to the conclusion of our presentation. That is, during the program's initial years, Startup Amsterdam was able to gather high momentum, which successfully put the city on the map of startup hubs. This was followed by rapid economic transformation as well as technological developments, further boosting the success of Amsterdam as a startup hub. Now this ecosystem continues to face new challenges, and for that, it must implement the new growth strategies we have provided, which are aimed at optimizing sustainable development over the long term. That's all for our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.